Good afternoon, everybody. Rose Thorn here. Today, I am doing a react video to Foodie Beauty's live stream called New Day. So, as everyone knows, last night was a very busy night for Foodie Beauty. She had a complete meltdown and she posted quite a few angry community posts, followed by a couple of live streams, which she quickly deleted. Last night was a lot for anyone who watches Foodie Beauty or even go to the reaction channels to watch Foodie Beauty. Last night was definitely a lot. I did a lot of reacts to Chantal yesterday, but once I saw the meltdowns and then the community posts, I made a standalone video giving my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on I think it's absolutely wrong that Foodie is bringing SA and DV back to the table again for the third time and triggering everybody and making sure to monetize all the live streams where she talks about DV and SA and also using DV and SA to get attention for herself. For Foodie, DV and SA are just far too profitable, hence why she keeps bringing them back to the table and using them as talking points when rather they should never be talking points on a channel and they should never be made into a story arc for any channel on YouTube. And that's just how I feel. So before I start doing this react, there are a few things that I'd like to say to everyone watching this react video. I'm someone that when I react to Chantal, I try to stay calm and not get worked up. I like for my content to be calm and relaxing as far as the react. With Foodie, it gets a bit difficult sometimes, especially when she starts talking about DV and SA. You've been through it, then it's hard to watch anything that talks about that. And Foodie bringing that stuff back to the table again and making it profitable again. I just reached a point with it. That's why I made the standalone video. I'm tired of her profiting off the pain of other people and just opening up old wounds in people that really should not be opened and doing it for the sake of grabbing at money. I'm usually nice to Foodie, but after all this stuff that she's been doing, I can't let her off. I can't let her off for doing this. And I'm going to take her to task for the things that she's doing. I'm going to take her to heavy task. So if my reactions from here on out are a little bit more harsh, that's the reason why. I try to be fair when looking at situations. I try to be calm and collected when I look at situations, because I know if you get too angry, you're not going to approach things from a place of sense and logic. But I'm tired of her doing this on her channel, triggering people, hurting people for the sake of profit. So if you watch my reacts from now on of Foodie and I'm a little bit more harsh, that's the reason why. I'm just not going to let her off for this. And I hope that people watching my reacts, you will get turned off from that. You'll understand where I'm coming from. By Foodie bringing the DV and SA to the table, and she's in Cuba, and she keeps talking about what happened with her between Natter and Didi. I don't know what her motivation is bringing it to her channel and talking about it on her channel. Like what all of the motivations are. There might be multiple ones besides the profit. I know she's definitely doing it to get back at Natter. She's angry at him. She's mad at him because he's with Didi. And she keeps talking about what happened to her, what happened to her. Something I want to put out there. So in this alleged incident, this occasion where she had intimate relations with Natter and Didi, Didi was laying on the bed, drunk, blindfolded. She did not know who was doing what to her. So Foodie's over there claiming that Natter did SA to her. But here's the kicker. If Dee Dee was on the bed, drunk, blindfolded, not knowing who was doing what to her, and Foodie did something to Dee Dee, and Dee Dee did not consent, wouldn't that be also SA? Since she did not know who was doing things to her, since she could not give consent? I think so. If someone is being intimate with you and you don't know who's being intimate with you, and you're intoxicated and you're blindfolded and you can't say yes or no, you're not aware of what's going on, doesn't that fall into SA? So Foodie might have committed SA on Dee Dee. So if she's using these live streams to get back at Natter and talk about something that was done to her, then by the same definition, if Dee Dee was on the bed, drunk, blindfolded, and maybe in a position where she could not give consent, that means SA was done to her as well by Foodie. So Foodie, if by talking about all this stuff online and making it profitable and you're trying to use it to punish Natter, just keep that in mind. That if you're doing it for vindictive reasons, that could easily backfire on you very, very fast. And I apologize if I'm mentioning this and it triggers anybody. It's certainly not my intention. But I just want to make that point. So with that said, I would like to bring up Chantal's video so you guys can see it. And there she is. Before we get into the react, I would like to bring up the last community post that Foodie made last night. So Foodie did her angry community post. 1 second, please. She did this one 13 hours ago, the adding mods and blocking again for my own mental health, and victim shaming is sick, you people are evil. She was raging, and she did those meltdown streams, and that's when she posted these two. That she did the meltdown streams where she was saying, I'm not well, and she was crying and she was completely unhinged. And then after those live streams, she posted this one. And all she said was disappearing for a while. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that post. Let me tell you why. Because she's in Cuba. She was having a meltdown. She was crying, getting everybody concerned. And then she makes this post saying disappearing for a while. I find that to be manipulating. Because she got everybody all concerned. She was crying. She was unhinged. Nobody knew what was going to happen to Foodie. She was in full meltdown mode. And then after those live streams that she deleted, she says disappearing for a while. Nobody knowing what would happen to her or what was happening. All that she said was, I'm disappearing for a while. I find that to be emotionally manipulative. Leaving people hanging, wondering, is she okay? Is she going to be all right? She didn't say, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm just not feeling well. I'll see you guys tomorrow. She just said disappearing for a while. That was very cruel of you to do that to people on your channel, Foodie. Very, very cruel. To keep people worried about you when they didn't have to be worried. You could have just said, I'll see you guys tomorrow for coffee, or I'll see you guys late afternoon or something. That would have made everybody know that you were all right. You just needed some sleep. But you said disappearing for a while. It's cruel how you try to manipulate your own members and VIBs, and you always keep them in a state of concern and worry when they don't have to be concerned and worried for you. And this is just you wanting more attention and keeping people watching you. And if you had decent content, Foodie, people would watch anyway. If you had decent content and things to talk about, people will keep watching you. And they'll do it for the right reasons. So that's the community post. This is the live stream. And notice the comments are turned off. They're turned off. You want to know why they're turned off? Because Foodie's a coward. She created a shitstorm last night. She created that. She made the choice to get on live stream and have a complete meltdown and talk about Natter and go off on her VIBs and block people and act completely out of pocket. And so here she is doing this live stream, and she could do the adult thing and show personal growth and show that she's changing by taking on the heat, acknowledging it, accepting it, and saying to people, you know what? If you got all this anger, I deserve it. I showed my whole ass last night, and I deserve your anger. I was completely out of pocket. I was completely out of line, and I am so sorry. She could do that. That would show growth as a person. When you show your whole ass and then you come back later and say, you know what? I showed it. Boy, did I show it. I gave the full moon that way, and I'm sorry. So if you're mad at me, I acknowledge that. I'm to blame. I brought that on. I made the choice to act like that, and I apologize. But Foodie's doing this live stream, and like a coward, she's turning the comments off because she knows that people are mad, and she doesn't want to deal with the anger. She doesn't want to deal with the backlash. So rather than deal with it, she's hiding from it. She's turning off her comments. That's a sign that she hasn't grown and she hasn't changed. So let's get on with this React video. And even though it's 3 hours long, we're not going to play all 3 hours. I'm going to give my commentary to a good portion of it. Hope you guys enjoy this React. And if you do, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. So let's get to with Miss Foodie Beauty. So I'm going to give my observation of what's going on right here, right now. I want everyone to take note of the look on her face and the way she's acting. The whole demeanor that she has right here, she has the look of a little kid that has gotten in trouble. They don't like the fact that they're in trouble. They're very sullen about it. They know that they're in trouble. They don't want to acknowledge that they've done wrong. And they're just trying to find a way to get out of it. She's sitting there stirring her coffee. And I know that may seem like nothing, but the way she's stirring it, the body language of that, she's over stirring her coffee because she's nervous. She knows she's in trouble. And I'm sure the thought in her mind is, I effed up big time. I got a lot of people mad at me. I don't want to do the right thing and apologize. So I am just going to sit here and just think about what I can say to get out of trouble. But I watched a few minutes of this live stream, and she did not immediately say she was sorry for the way she behaved last night. Foodie did not say she was sorry. What she should have done is immediately coming online is say, I am so sorry. I acted up last night. I got everybody worried. That shouldn't have happened. I was raging out and I was taking out my anger on all of you, and that's not correct. But she didn't do that. She's just sitting there, stirring her coffee, looking resentful, looking angry because she acted up, and now she's got to face the public, the same public that she makes money off of. But she's not going to do the right thing and apologize to all the thousands of people that watched her last night and may have gotten triggered or angry, or that she cursed at, because she did get in those live streams and telling people, if you don't like it, F off and blah, blah, blah. There's no apology here. There's no feeling a sense of sorrow or remorse or regret in her demeanor or her behavior. She's just sitting there thinking, well, I have to apologize. I don't want to apologize, but I guess I have to because I'm making money off these people. Yeah, that's her demeanor.
Hi guys. Hi Tata. Hi everybody. You changed your name? Oh, okay. My 2-hour break from YouTube.
Yeah, Foodie said she's disappearing for a while, but those of us that react to Foodie, we knew she would be back in a hurry. How can she not? She's in Cuba. There's nobody else to talk to. She's got nothing to do. She wants to make money. She's got to come online. We knew she'd be back. We knew. She teased everybody saying, I'm going to disappear for a while. Well, that while did not last very long, did it?
Hi, sweet Jane. Jean, hi everybody. Thank you. I'm sunburned. Like I have a bad burn on my shoulder. Like can't even take a hot shower. Pretty bad. And that was only I had a lot of sunscreen on. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say collective hi because I miss so many people. But
See, what did I say last night when my reacts? When she had that meltdown? I told everybody in my react video that the next stream after those meltdowns, she would just carry on and act like nothing happened. She would either be A, really apologetic, or B, she was going to carry on like nothing happened. Let's forget about it. Let's move on. And that's exactly what she's doing. Called it.
I'm feeling a bit better today. I just want to say I don't know where I would be without the people who talk me off of the ledge. Honestly, I just want to say, like, you know who you are. Every single person who's just messaging me and supportive. I don't always answer everybody because I just can't. But I
Hold on. What is this? All the people that talked me off the ledge. What ledge, Foodie? What ledge? You're in Cuba. You're on vacation. Yes, you were having a meltdown last night, but you were fine. I sat there and I reacted to the 2 streams that you've now deleted. And girl, it was absolutely scary seeing you flip back and forth through emotions. One minute you're crying, the next minute you're laughing and you're finding calm, and then you go back to crying. And yes, I did notice different portions where you sit there and you'd fake cry, and then I actually saw you fake cry and then cover up your face, part of your face, and then peek with one eye out to see if anybody was looking at you, to see if anybody was watching you cry and what the response was. Yeah, I saw that too. So what do you mean you were on the ledge? You weren't straight up blubbery crying and you cried for a while and you ugly cried. You would fake cry for a second and then be laughing and giggling and doing the arm wiggle for the members joining up. You did all of that last night. All of it. You weren't on any ledge. You weren't. So stop using that manipulative language right there. Cut it out.
I do read most of your messages, and I really appreciate it. Family, friends, everybody. You know. Hi, Ashley. I don't know what my deal. I don't know what's wrong with me, LT. I think it's just like a mixture of like, I don't know how I didn't think that I would be okay. Like I didn't. I should have like been more mindful of my own mental health coming here. Like I'm by myself. I had a traumatic weekend. Traveled the next day on no sleep and no food. Going through all this crap, this breakup and all this other shit. It's too much, you know. But this is like when I opened my phone this morning.
Wait a minute. This breakup, you said in your meltdown streams, you never had a relationship with this man. Because you were never really committed to him. You dated him for what, a week? And then after that, it was over. So there was no real breakup. You're not going through a breakup. Before you left to come to Cuba, you had an occasion with Dee Dee and Natter. You did. You went to go see him for your birthday. You had an occasion with both of them, which I find incredible since you claim that you hate both of them with a passion, to the point where you had other live streams before that where you were going completely off on them, but you had an intimate occasion with two people you say you hate, which I could never do, but you did, probably because you were trying to find a way to be with Natter or show him in some twisted way, look, I love you so much that I'll do anything you want me to do. Maybe so he would continue to see you, or he would see you, and then when it didn't happen, you decided to lash out in live streams and say a bunch of stuff. I think the meltdown you had last night had a lot to do with the fact that Natter did a live stream. Like you did a live stream last night, but he was unbothered by you. He didn't talk about you. And he told Dee Dee that he loved her. And that really just set you over the edge. I think it had that, your meltdown last night had more to do with that than whatever it is that happened between you and Dee Dee and Natter. And again, I don't know exactly what went down in that bedroom, how it went, but you're claiming that he hurt you. But at the same time, Foodie, if that's true, then you doing stuff to Dee Dee while she's blindfolded and drunk, you did things to her. So if you're doing this crap to get back at Natter, you might want to think about that. You might want to think real hard about that, about your part in it and what you did to somebody.
I know that I said, like, I know it's cheesy, like, I found God on this trip, but honestly, when I opened my phone, it said, basically, it was like a message that, like, God was telling me to stop being a fucking whine ass. Like, it was like, God has a plan for you, and you can't change it, so just keep, like, you know, and that's what I feel like. I feel like I have, like, no matter what, yeah, I know. You better charge it. It could have been definitely weed withdrawal, but look how much I was doing. Oh, anyway. Hi. Hi, Ashley. Thanks, bad boy. Ashley, hi. Sandy's serious. Nights are really hard for a lot of people, yes.
See, we're like almost 4 minutes into this live stream. Where's the apology? Shouldn't she be apologizing for the way she acted last night, for raging at people and going after her own VIBs and saying, if you don't like it, then I don't care, and just go ahead and blocking people? She should be apologizing right now to everybody coming into her VIB chat for the way she behaved, for the things that she said. No apology. No apology to the VIBs. No apology to the people that are watching her channel that are not her VIBs. No apologies to anybody. For anybody who watches Foodie, who might be a VIB or a viewer, you're a fan of Chantal. If you're watching her because you're waiting for that magic moment where she's growing up, she's doing some adulting, she's growing up, she's taking accountability, She's being more responsible. You're looking for any signs of growth. She should be showing it right now by acknowledging what she did, how she acted, expressing remorse and regret, and apologizing. If she's not doing that, she's not growing. She's still the same foodie she ever was.
Can't pour from an empty cup. Gotta start taking care of yourself. Exactly. The truth is, Lily, sometimes the negative comments come at a bad time and it affects you. Yeah, Rhonda. It's true. Hi, Breakup. I had like a little bit of a problem with like my therapist too. Like they basically told me like I could like in a crisis or an urgent situation I could message them or text them anytime. So I wrote an email today, like in like recently. Usually they reply like I know she's really busy or whatever, but like usually they reply like themselves. It's more personal too. So like they have a secretary now that I don't really like, which is very impersonal and like dismissive. So I was like in a crisis and I emailed and I'm like, hey, do you have any time for like me at all, anytime as soon as possible, like any cancellations or anything?
Look at this entitled brat. This one right here. So, her therapist, if she does have one, because I seriously doubt that, she's talked about having therapists and making appointments, and she never goes, but she talks about having a therapist. And because the therapist is an actual working person with an actual working job, which requires logging in hours, punching in and punching out, therapists are usually very busy people, very busy. So, because the therapist is very busy right now and she can get a reply from a secretary or an assistant, that's not good enough for her. She doesn't want the assistant, she wants the therapist. Her attitude is, I don't want you, I want the person that I want. I want their attention. And if I'm not getting that, that's not good enough. Foodie, if a therapist has a secretary and they're replying to you, you're still getting help, you're still getting assistance. That should be good enough. If your therapist is busy, take that in consideration. The fact there are actually people in the world that work and they're busy and they can't just drop everything for you. If you really need help, you take the help whatever way you can get. If you're going through a crisis, you got a problem, you need somebody to talk to, you can talk to somebody. It may not be the person that you want, but you're still getting help. You want the help, take the help. Don't be so picky and choosy and snarky over the fact that the person you want to talk to doesn't have time for you right now.
Think, like can I do some vinegar? And then like I was like in a crisis, Um, so hi Tiffany. So Duck with eternal. God is reaching out to you, and the more God pulls you closer, the more evil will try to grab you back in until you're friendly. So true. So, anyways, they replied back and they're like, "Is April 4th okay for you? That's the only soonest available." So I replied back. I'm like, "No, actually, I said I was in a crisis and it was urgent, so I guess I'll call a hotline." That's like the response to any mental health crisis. Call a hotline. So I replied.
That's because the hotlines are open 24 hours a day. If you're in a crisis and you need help at that moment and you can't wait for an appointment, call a hotline. They can help you, they can talk you through it. That's what they're set up for spur of the moment situations that happen where you can't go to a therapist. But Foodie, that's not good enough for you, is it? You're in a crisis, you're having a meltdown last night, you were having a panic attack or something, and you're being told, call a hotline. Maybe because you were calling during off hours. I mean, what you were doing last night was late night, early morning. So, of course, they're going to tell you to call a hotline. If you needed the help that bad, you should have called a helpline. But no, I guess you didn't need the help that bad because you didn't want to call a hotline and the personal assistant wasn't good enough. Has to be the therapist. Well, guess what? Therapists are booked. They got things to do. They got patients that actually want to see them. And when they make appointments, they actually show up. So you're the lowest on the rung of priority. If you actually want help, you need help at that moment, take the help wherever it is and stop complaining.
Replied back. I was like, okay, and so that was it. And then the person replied back like almost right away, like, all right, that's probably the best thing for you to do right now is call a hotline. Like, really? And that was her secretary. No, like, just completely like, no, I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. This is your maybe that would be a better option for you. You know, like just very fucking dismissive. Like I felt like nobody gave a shit about me. So then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to assert myself. My feelings are valid. I'm going to assert myself, and I'm going to say how I feel. So I replied, and I said, I just want to let you know how I feel. That I'm disappointed in the reception, and that I felt like my feelings, like I wasn't, like I was like you were being dismissive of me, and like you could have said, like I'll keep you on the list for cancellations. Anything remotely a little bit more supportive than that. So she's like, I'll forward your message along to this therapist, blah blah blah. So the therapist like messaged me and blah blah blah. So anyway, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna. No, sorry.
So because the therapist didn't give her world class treatment, because the therapist didn't pick up the phone or respond to Foodie within seconds of her reaching out, this person, Foodie, who's not even a patient of hers, because she didn't reach out immediately and give her the help she wanted immediately, Foodie's over there complaining. The sense of entitlement with this one, even when she's having a so called crisis, the sense of entitlement. Oh, even though my secretary is replying to you, that's not good enough. And the way I'm replying is not good enough either. Foodie's going to actually write back and say, well, I just don't feel special enough. I feel like you dismissed me. I don't feel special. That's the whole thing with Foodie. She's got to feel special above everybody else. Never mind all the people that are going to that therapist that maybe they might have worse problems than Foodie. Maybe they might have a lot more deep, heavy stuff than Foodie. And they got to be in therapy. And they've scheduled the appointments and they show up. No, Foodie's problems are much more important than everybody else's. Her crisis is much heavier than everybody else's. Put her first in line. Foodie, you can't be this entitled. You can't expect everybody in the world to be at your beck and call when you want them to be. You got a crisis, and there's some way where you can talk to somebody, take it. Whether it's a hotline, a personal assistant, take it. If it's just that bad, you will take it. If you're not taking it, that means whatever you're going through is not that bad. Because people who are really in crisis, when they're really, really in crisis, they will take the help no matter where it is, and they won't complain.
I know the world doesn't revolve around me. I'm just saying it could have been approached better. Pretty PHX, you know. Like, yeah. I'm having a cappuccino with a sugar cane.
You know, maybe the therapist should have told Foodie the same thing that she told Pete when they were in the car the one time, and Pete was going back and recounting all the things that Foodie did to him when they broke up. And he said that basically she ruined his life. She ruined his credit. He was a broken man. Foodie did not apologize after hearing him say that. She did not acknowledge what he went through. She didn't apologize. She didn't express any remorse or regret. Do you know what her words to him were? When it rains, it pours. That she dismissed his pain. She dismissed the fact that she did all that stuff to him. She dismissed it. When it rains, it pours. Maybe the therapist should have said that to her, threw her own words back at her. It would have been deserved.
I've been on a wait list for a psychiatrist. Tribe. Do you want to get me one? How about that? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. No, I'll just block myself because I'm protecting my mental health now. and I want my channel to go in a bit of a different direction. I feel like this trip is going to be like in the beginning for me, and you know, what you don't say to anyone if they can contact you if they don't mean it. Exactly. And then have your secretary like, hi Lisa. The trip is not ruined. Why is the trip ruined? Why are you being negative? I don't want negative people here. At all.
Well, the trip is ruined, Foodie. It may not be ruined for you, but you pretty much ruined it for everybody watching you. You got everybody excited. Do you get that? You got everybody excited. Everybody on your channel that watches you, everybody that's your VIBs, you got them all excited. That after months and months and months of hearing the natter crap over and over, that natter crap being shoved down their throats on the daily for hours every single day, you got them excited for something different. You gave the impression that you were turning over a new leaf. No more natter talk, no more mentioning natter. Foodie's going on vacation. She's going to show us the sights. She's going to do things. She's going to involve us. This was the content we've been waiting for. This is the Foodie we've been waiting for. You got everybody excited, and you gave everybody hope they could finally take a deep breath and exhale and expel all the natter crap from their system and let in all the good stuff you were going to be giving them. So by the meltdown you had last night, you pretty much did ruin the vacation for everybody watching you. Because everybody now knows that the natter crap is not over. You're not done talking about them. You're probably going to have like 3 or 4 more rage streams before your trip is even finished. Natter is still very much on your mind. That's pretty clear. The community posts, the videos that you deleted and you want to act like they never happened, that never happened, denial, denial, denial. The trip is ruined for them. The ambiance is broken. The cheerful ambiance is now broken. Everybody knows the deal now. The mask came all the way off last night and you can't put it back on.
So if you're negative, please kindly escort yourself out. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Mr. Mai. I'm just gonna like do what I feel like doing, you know? Because one thing I'm learning to do is establish boundaries, because I had no fucking boundaries. And this bitch is getting boundaries. And sorry, you're not going to be a fucking piece of shit negative like PH. Goodbye. Go discuss it somewhere else if you're obsessed and do anyway. This is the fucking Beezer hug box. If you don't like it, go away. I don't. What's your problem? There's millions of channels on the fucking internet.
And see, after her behavior last night, Foodie should be apologetic for showing her whole ass. She should be very apologetic, very apologetic, apologizing to people, saying, I was completely out of line. I am very sorry. That was a lot, and I put you guys through it, and I shouldn't have. It's not fair. I'm in Cuba. You guys are excited for me. You've stuck with me all this time. And despite the fact that I spent months giving you content, and you had to watch me being completely effed up on chemicals all the time, every day, and raging and talking about natter. I shouldn't be acting like that. I should do better. She should be falling over her feet to apologize. And even now, the next day, this snotty head cheerleader, popular girl in school attitude, it's still in place. It hasn't disappeared. Whatever meltdown she had last night, that's over, but the attitude remains. This attitude that you're seeing right now is the real Foodie, the real one. And I want to clue everybody into something important. Foodie says she hates the fact that people wait for her rage streams. And a lot of people think, oh, the reaction channels, we wait for her rage streams. And that's true. I'll give her that. We wait for the rage streams. But you want to know part of the reason why we wait for the rage streams? Because usually when Foodie rages out, that's the real her. That's when the most truth comes out of her mouth, is when she's raging. Any other time she's lying, nonstop lying. When she rages, that's when she tells the most truth. That's when she's the most real and genuine. When she rages, the mask comes off and you can see the real her. That's why we wait for those rage streams.
I just find like negative energy just brings me down, makes me crabby. I don't want that. Is it humid today? Yeah, it's humid every day. Well, it's a little overcast actually, but the trip is far from ruined. Yeah, actually, there was a lot of negative things, but that's, I mean, the more I realized that was bound to happen, like I'm just gonna like reach out to my support systems I created for myself out of necessity, and honestly, they're more supportive, I find, than anything. What can I do? I'm not gonna drink. So tonight, I'm not gonna drink. Um, I'm not crabby, but I canceled a few, yeah, but I've always paid for the cancellations. So, like every time I've canceled, I've paid. So it shouldn't matter. I wasn't ready to talk then, or I wasn't wanting to talk then. Now I do. Please keep the fluff people away. You deserve positive energy. You're not perfect, but you don't deserve hateful comments. We're all human at the end of the day. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of that too. I am so tired of Foodie hiding behind that statement. Nobody's perfect. You're right, nobody is perfect, Foodie. But trying to use that statement as an excuse and a reason to be hateful and nasty to people and toxic, it ain't gonna wash. You're trying to sell that to people as a reason to act up and then be forgiven. It ain't gonna wash. I'm not buying what you're trying to sell, and nobody else should either. You cannot sit there and be nasty and rude to people and bring the toxic content to your channel and the toxic topics and then use this statement of nobody's perfect, everybody's human to hide behind as an excuse to be a rotten human being and put people through it. No, ma'am.
You work through these feelings, you work through emotions, and accept food. Yes, damn it, Amber. Exactly. Is it the donate link that pays for a membership to PayPal? NorCal, no, that's just so there should be a link in the description, but if you go to my main page, like on Safari, if you're using iPhone, you'll see a join button. Thanks for the super chat, Care. I hope you feel better. You really sound like I know her makes sense. Love you strong. Thank you, Care. I appreciate that. Yeah, Killer Hot Dog. Good morning. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Always protect yourself. I'm yeah. I'm sipping freaking cappuccino in Cuba. Like I feel sick on this trip, like mentally sick. So
You know, just an observation that just popped into my head. When Foodie's at home, where does she normally spend her time? In the kitchen, right next to the fridge. She's in Cuba. There's so much to do. There's the beach, there's the sights, everything. Where is she spending her time? Where is she doing her live streams from? The cafeteria. You know, that's the closest she's going to come to a fridge and a kitchen. She's spending it in the freaking cafeteria. And I know before anybody says anything, this is her trip. She can go where she wants, she can do what she wants. And I'm not going to argue with that. I just find it incredible that even 3,000, 4,000 miles from home, at home, she would be in her house, sitting at her kitchen in front of her fridge. And where is she spending her time on a vacation? Where the food is.
I think I'm gonna use this trip as like a mental detox and try to feel better and just rest. I can't overwhelm myself. I can't be around negative. So I know, but if I don't feel supported, like I don't know. Please go to the beach today. Listen to the waves. Think about things. It is an issue. Like you can't get. I don't feel like you can get the proper support. Hi, Jojo. Maybe you should spend time away from your phone. Yeah, yesterday gave me a whole lot of good basic things. But yeah, feeling sucks. And just like what I like went through last night, like I felt borderline evil. Like the way I felt, like I had like dark, nasty energy. It was horrible.
That's because you're a dark, nasty, evil person. I know that's a harsh statement, but it's true. You're a dark, nasty, evil person. Any person who brings deviant essay and makes it profitable on their channel is dark, evil, and nasty. No one can change my mind on that. I will die on the hill feeling that way. And you acted all the way up last night. All the way up. The mask completely came off. And people saw who you really were. You gave a glimpse into who you really are, Foodie. You are dark, evil, mean, nasty, manipulative. And you'll even go so far as to sit there and try to use somebody being on probation against them. Try to hold that over their head because you want to blackmail that person into a relationship and put them in a position where you feel like you got the power. Oh, I know you've been in trouble with the law, Natter. I know that. And I'm going to use that against you if you try to wiggle away from me and go somewhere else. Because whenever you're mad at him, you lash out. You lash out in live streams. You lash out in community posts. You lash out. And here we are again. You're lashing out because you're not getting what you want. And what you want is him. You can sit there and say all day long, I don't want him. I don't want him. But your actions speak more truth than your words. And you did a whole lot of action last night. Yes, you did. You did. And you did it in front of people. You were abusive to people. Yes, ma'am, you were. And here we are. You're having this live stream. You should be apologizing, and you're not. I don't hear I'm sorry. I don't see you looking sorrowful or remorseful or regretful for what you did. You're just dismissing it away. And you're so cowardly, you turned off the comments. You want to act up and get away with it as much as possible. So you rage out. You know people are mad. You don't want to do the adult thing and deal with their anger, deal with the angry comments. No, you want to hide. You want to hide from the backlash. You want to stay in your bubble and you don't want anybody popping it.
No, I'm not leaving tomorrow. I'm just gonna stay here. I like being here. I do. I do miss. I'll be happy to be home because I'll miss my cats and everything. You already know what the fuck is going on. Why do you need? It's not that I need to be told what I feel. It's nice to have an outside professional perspective to help you deal with what you're dealing with because I don't know how to manage what I'm dealing with. Like I don't have healthy coping mechanisms. I go online and I scream and I rage, and I verbally abuse matter hours on end.
Yeah, and here's the worst part. You go off on Natter, but you don't do it to Natter. You don't do it in private on the phone or text messages where it's just the two of you. If you wanted to go off on Natter that way, that would be more acceptable and more understandable than being a vindictive bee, getting on a live stream and raging at him using your platform. Because you're taking something that's private, that's between two people, and you're putting it on a public forum. You're exposing a lot of people to a whole lot of mess they don't need to be a part of, and they're not a part of. You're exposing it to a lot of other people. You're making them aware of it. You're making them a part of it. And really, your audience, for what's going on between you and Natter, they have no part in it. They should not be involved because by involving other people, you're stressing them out. You're making them upset. And then you get mad at them for getting upset because you involved them. Gaslighting people all over the place. Here, I'm going to expose you to all this toxic nuclear waste dump of a mess. And then when you respond in kind, I'm going to get mad at you and I'm going to block you. That's how I'm going to handle it.
Keep abusing.
And I want to say something else. You know the reason why she doesn't go off on Natter in person? And it's not just because he's got charges allegedly filed against him, which I've shared my thoughts on that. I don't think charges have been actually filed. We never saw Foodie go into an actual police station and talk to a police officer. We just saw her get out of her car and walk away and be gone for a while. We never saw Natter being picked up. So I've got my doubts that there are charges that were actually filed. Because if there were charges filed, why would he be around her knowing he's going back to jail? But aside from that, getting back to the point, do you know the reason why she won't go off directly on Natter? Because she's that person that she doesn't like direct confrontation. She doesn't want to have the person directly in front of her where they can respond. She's a coward. She'd rather do it behind her camera where she's safe, where she won't have to deal with the confrontation. She still wants Natter. And so she's not going to do anything directly in front of his face that would mean that he would get angry and never see her again. So she's hiding behind her camera and she's venting to everybody, even though we're not involved. We don't want to be involved. We want to be removed from all that mess. She keeps involving us. She keeps bringing it here. Because the people in her audience are not Natter. And she doesn't care if they get angry and they leave or they cancel their memberships. That's not important to her. What's important to her is Natter. So she doesn't want to really piss him off, does she? She doesn't want to piss him off. She doesn't want to really drive him away. She just gets angry and she rages out and she vents, takes it out on people, involves them in something that they want no part of. This is how she handles things, like a coward.
Don't justify feeling the way you do. Some people just don't understand. It's true. I have to realize that. There's people that just don't understand. There's people that don't want to understand. There's people that never will. You're going through stages of separation anxiety and suffered from trauma. Oh, there's the massage guy. Should I get a massage? Chansu Chichiro. Really Chansu Chichiro. Thank you. Deciding your hormones, experience, and high hormones. Yes. Right. Breakup is a loss. Yeah, I mean, like I went through a lot of emotional shit with this person for a whole year. I was like so emotionally, I was invested in every single way. Like, sorry if I'm a little fucked up. Like, holy shit, you know? Like, why am I letting people make me feel bad for something I went through? Everyone's feelings are valid, you know? Like, but I'm not doing it in the right way. I know that. So. I'm the same way though. You know, like it's hard to me too. I don't understand things until I'm in them. I always used to say that women are so fucking weak. How would you ever let a man talk to you like that? How? You don't even realize it while you're in it, you know? I just realized on this trip that it's so important to protect your energy. Your energy is something that like most people don't even believe that humans have energy. You know, like we're just walking sacks of eating and shitting and like what? Like how? What kind of life is that?
Well, guess what, Foodie? You are full of bad energy. You're full of bad energy. You've been full of bad energy for a long time. And like attracts like. If you're someone and you've got a lot of bad energy, you are negative. Negative attracts negative. You attract what you are most like. So if you're a negative person and you're attracting negative people, pay attention to that. And if you're a negative person and it seems like everybody that gets around you, everybody, friends, family, they don't like being around you. They avoid contact with you. They stay away from you. Or if they're around you for too long, their life is impacted in some kind of negative way, which is certainly true for you. Your family doesn't want to be around you. Pete, everybody can see the effect you've had on him. He moved in with you, and at the time he moved in, he had a job. He was making his own money. He was a lot happier. Now here we are, over 2 years later, living with you. His life has gone downhill. He's not working, doesn't have his own money. He's constantly depressed. He rages out. This was something he never used to do. But isn't it something that all of this started happening when he moved in with you? So you're over there saying your mental health is bad, his mental health is bad, it's only getting worse. Isn't it funny that everything around you, the only connecting point is you? Your family wants nothing to do with you. They don't talk to you. They don't hang out with you. Pete is a recluse in his bedroom. He's depressed. And even your own cats. You can't even say my cats are healthy and happy. They're not. They're living in a toxic waste dump of a house. And PBJ is looking sicker by the day. Do you care? No. Everything that's around you or that you're responsible for is in a state of decay. So yes, Foodie, you are negative. You contain lots of negative energy and you're not working to change that. And as long as you're negative, you are going to attract negative in your life.
Yeah. A cigar. Maybe in the tuck shop here. I'm going to go to the gift shop here. I want to go before lunch. You guys want to go? Yeah. After lunch, I think I'm gonna get off again and go to the beach for the afternoon. But I need to not burn. How do I not burn? Does the sunscreen wash off in the ocean after a while?
Yeah. Of course you burn. You're very fair skinned. You've got that ivory skin going on. You're from Canada. No tan. You're going to burn. And yes, you do have to put sunscreen on because you sweat it off eventually. You got to keep on top of that. You're in the Caribbean, Foodie. After being in Canada, you're going to burn.
Ooh, massages with stones. Gift shop bees. No, I didn't talk to Louis, but I couldn't figure out, I couldn't find his number. It wasn't working. I don't know if it's the wrong country code or something, or maybe you could, I don't know. But I'm not going to hook up with a 20-year-old person. It's not going to happen. I think I'm realizing how old I am this trip as well. You know, I find you. Okay, I was at the beach for like 2 hours about.
No, you aren't. She's lying. I can tell you right now, she's lying. No way. No way could that happen. I say that with all confidence because I'm from Florida and I don't have very fair skin like Foodie. And if I went out into the Florida sun, which is it's a tropical state, tropical climate, just like with Cuba, with the heat, if I stayed out in the sun, in my skin's got some coloring to it. I keep a tan. I tan easily. But if Foodie went out in the sun for 2 hours, trust me, we would know. She would be beet red from head to toe, and she wouldn't be able to leave her room because she wouldn't be able to have her clothes on. Because if you got a deep, deep, severe burn, you don't want to wear clothes. It hurts to put clothing on. Her body would be radiating heat all day, all night to where she couldn't sleep. So 2 hours out in the sun? Yeah, right.
You reply every couple hours? Okay. You want to hook up with a 20-year-old? Well, he's very nice, and I really like helping him out with nice tips, and he really does good service. And I'll be there tonight, but Tiffany Mendoza, you are so loved by many people. I have been by your side from day one. So proud of you. Thank you, Tiffany. Ready, set, babies. I know you have, and I see you. I see all of you. Sit under a parasol. Vegan for life. Uh, giraffe eyelash. Looking very pretty. Just ready, set, please. What? Predatory lesbian. Who? On age. Remember for 6 months. You have endured trauma. You do need outside help and support so you can help yourself. I think things but gaining personal strength. Yes, exactly. Ready, set, babies. Okay, hi. I'm pretty, but never with a 20. Right, Vicky? I just can't do it. I can't. Freaking young, too young for me. Matthew Dosie, I'm so glad you got your channel back. Thank you. Me as well. I am so happy. Like, you have no idea. I think the vacation was so important. You can't heal in the same place you got hurt. That's something else, isn't it? True that.
Yeah, and you're going back to the same place you got hurt. After the vacation's over, you're going home, the same toxic environment where you have access to all those temptations, and you're probably going to indulge in those temptations. The percentage of you actually indulging is about, I would say, about 100% guaranteed. You're going to go home, you're going to do massive amounts of edibles because you couldn't do them all week while you're in Cuba, and you'll be able to calm matter, which I'm sure you're going to do, which you probably have already done while you're in Cuba. And that might be part of the reason why you raged out because maybe he wasn't picking up the phone when you wanted him to, because you're so entitled, you think everybody should be on beck and call for foodie beauty. So you're right. You can't heal in the same place you're hurt in. But on the same token, foodie, you can't expect to go to a new location with a head full of mess and expect that the mess is not going to stay there with you. It's in your head. You got to deal with that. You could travel to the furthest point of the world and the mess is still going to follow you. Going to a different location does not change that.
True that. Is there a flight home tomorrow from Montreal? I don't know if I want to go home early. Do you think I should? I think I should stay. I think I should really stay. I want to go home, but I think I should stay. You look 28. We believe in you, even when you don't. Trust yourself. You're made of tougher stuff than you think. Thank you, David Amber. Ready, sit, baby. I get it genetically from my mom. My mom just looks like naturally young too. Jesse Westy, hey love, I'm rooting for you to overcome this season in your life, and this is exactly what season it will come and go. Thank you, Jesse Westy. I appreciate that. Just lost it on a few people. Told everyone Sorry, Monty. Monty's actually pretty cute, actually. For real, he's not bad. You packed your big. Yeah, I did.
Oh, now she's calling Monty cute after insulting him last night and making fun of his looks. Now suddenly he's cute.
I did pack my things. Okay, I'm gonna go get some stuff in the tuck shop. Oh, Rambo, where? Oh, I didn't. Wait. Where? Anyways, hope today's fun for you. Oh my god, of course I'd answer Rambo. What? I said that they won't do that. Like, if I'm not on the bus, they'll even come to my room and get me. Like, they won't let me. I haven't signed any autographs. I'm not famous. That girl, beach beating and buffet sounds like a perfect day. Yeah. Thanks, that girl. I can't shave my chin hair here, by the way. Check-in will be available 24 hours. Okay. Thanks, guys. I don't have a plane ticket. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm stuck here. I'm gonna move in with family. I'm not leaving early, you know. Limited time only. Going through what you made for yourself. Figure it out. Ooh. Capital One is American? Who fucking cares? Like, oh, was the only country? What are the odds that I come to? I thought I would have been more prepared. Santa is the next country. I have to just go through. I can't escape here. The thing is, the problem is, here I can't escape what I'm going through. I have to deal with it. I have no coping mechanism here that I normally have. Well, you know what I mean? Romans made this big chlorinated bathtub. Chlorine is chemical and gross. No, on the phone, no. But I could make a reservation here for the restaurants, but I don't really want to.
So we're almost 2 hours into this live stream. Again, no apology, no remorse, no regret, no tears. I'm not saying she has to cry, but I'm not seeing any sincere remorse or regret from this woman the way she behaved last night at all. And I'm disgusted by it because she treats people this way, and the very next day she gets up and she doesn't say I'm sorry. The words I'm sorry are so simple, but they mean a lot to people when you've done them wrong, when you've acted up. It just means you're acknowledging you're wrong, and perhaps by acknowledging it, you won't do it again. So here's Foodie. She's on vacation. She acted up last night, and she knows it's wrong, but she doesn't care. It doesn't affect her. If it doesn't affect Foodie, then that means it doesn't count. So she's just going to act like everything's okay and it wasn't a big deal, and just let's just move on and do this vacation and just let's just forget about it. I'm sorry, Foodie. The internet remembers. I'm not going to react to the rest of this video. There's really no need. I just want to show the front part of this. Hope you guys enjoyed this react video, and if you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching, and please have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.